What is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. This one all about the new project bike. Now, I've always wanted one of these. 2008 R1. Got it dirt cheap. It is a repairable write-off and she is rough as guts, but that's perfect. That is perfect for someone like me or maybe yourselves that don't want to buy something that's already, done, already well and truly finished or nearly on its way, because you want to make it your own. You want to do it yourself. You want to modify the living hell out of it. That is what I will be doing with this girl here, and that is what this video is about.
Perfect.
Right, so repairable write-off. That's probably a red flag for most. I actually brought the bike as a repairable write-off that did not start either, with no history known. So yeah, a little bit sketch. Repairable write-offs in Queensland, you can get back on the road. There's a lot of hoops to jump through. You need a lot of documentation, a lot of paperwork, all of that kind of fun stuff. You need receipts for all work done, all parts purchased, new or used. Pretty much everything about the bike and its entire history is essentially needed. Past owners, current owner, all of that. It's a lot to do, and I do not have the patience, the time to go back through all of these owners. The hard thing is this bike is from Victoria. I am in Queensland, and the owners are so far spread apart, and yeah, given that it was a track bike for part of its history as well, it's just going to be a nightmare to actually get all this paperwork, documentation, and history. So that kind of makes it perfect for me. It was cheap, and I do want to modify it quite extensively, make it my own bike. So perfect for me. If you guys are looking at doing something like this, either buy it and keep it as a track bike. Don't try and re-register it unless you've got all of that history and all of that paperwork, because if you're missing one thing, man, you are going to have a nightmare and potential for it never actually seeing the road again. So really keep that in mind if you're looking to follow kind of like the same path that I'm taking with this bike. But my plan of attack is we have a VIN number that represents the bike. That's its ID number. That is registered on the WOVA, which is the list of repairable write-off vehicles. So we need to change the VIN, which you can't legally do, grinding it and etching it. Fancy. So 2008 R1 frame, clean title, perfectly good. Frame is straight. Frame will even clean up nice. When I got it, the first thing I noticed is it's been painted. You can see that, yeah, there we go. You can see there. Whereas underneath, the frame is actually perfect. She is so nice underneath. That one's real nice too, and I thought it was a shame to like get rid of the frame. But this one is real nice underneath all this. I think that's even plasti dip, to be honest, because I'm using enamel thinner to wipe this stuff off. So that's the plan. We are going to do an entire frame swap from this guy to this guy. And while we're at it, we're going to modify the shit out of it, because that's what I do. That's what I love doing. Let's make it spicy. Let's make it quick as shit. Add some nitrous, some E85. We're going to go high comp. We are going to go a little bit crazy with this one, but let's just do that. Let's do it anyway. Yeah, so full frame swap. That's the project. I've already got 99% of all the parts coming. They're already ordered. They're all coming. They're all on their way. And yeah, let's get into it. The first thing we'll do, we'll run over the bike in its current condition, and I'll show you what I have to work with. Now, the first thing we have here, R1 front end, right? We've got the 4 pots, which are decent brakes. Everything's good. But this front end here is actually going to go on my R6. So we're taking all this off, putting this on the R6. And then I am taking a 2009 R1 front end, which is actually a 6-pot front caliper. So there's more pad space. There's actually 2 pads in the front as opposed to, well, actually I guess there's 4 pads in the front as opposed to 2, so there's more surface area, the cooling is better. Now I think the shocks themselves, the actual struts are valved a little different, but I might pull them both apart just to compare, just to confirm that, because, well, I can't really find too much information on the shocks themselves being different, but that's what I'll be doing. I already have the 09 R1 front end. They just look nicer with the six piston fronts. Dang. Yeah, they just look better. I've got sintered pads for it. We're going to run a heavier shock oil in them. So I'm just going to drain out the old shock oil and put new oil in it. Nice, simple. I'm not going to have them revalved or anything yet. We're just going to keep it as a simple service. Now the fronts here, I'll probably get some new bearings for the front wheels. Well, for the front wheel singular, sorry. And I do have new tires here already for it, so we're going to be running the Bridgestone RS10s, so that's almost a track tire. It's nice and sticky, probably take a while to get up to heat, and damn, this tire is cooked, man. This thing is hard as all shit. Can't even, oh yeah, that's nasty. Yeah, so we'll be running the Bridgestones on this bike. A little bit stickier once they're hot, that is. A little bit stickier than an S22, which is what you want, given the power that I want to pull out of this thing. And yeah, that's going to be our front end. Now our rear. The rear on this bike is actually pretty tidy as well. We are going to run obviously sintered pads in the back, the same as the front. We're going to go to a 520 chain. We're going to go to a 47 tooth rear and maybe like a 16 or a 17. I think it's a 16 tooth front, and that should be good. Obviously, we're going to run the 190 RS10 tire on the back. We're just going to clean these wheels up a bit. I don't want to paint anything in this one. Kind of just want to get it together and get it looking good. So I'll probably just give them a good clean up. Maybe run some new stems. Oh no, that feels alright. It doesn't feel bad at all. Run some new stems maybe, and keep it nice and simple. The rear shock, I'll probably just leave it. I'll just set it up for myself. We'll set the rebound and whatnot, and we'll just leave it as is. I don't want to do too much with that. So that's pretty much the rear end sorted. We'll run new bearings most likely. We'll see what these are like, and we'll see if we need to run new bearings in the back end too. And while I'm already down on the ground, sitting here, you can get a good close look at her. You can see the fairings are cooked. So let's go over that. Ordered myself a brand new set of fairings for the bike. We're going with a color change and just something nice. So these fairings are cooked pretty much. You can see we got crack here. And they were just scuffed, and like I said, I don't want to be painting anything. It's too time consuming. Really just not into it. Really not feeling painting this bike. So we got some new fairings on the way. Oh geez, on that note, with the motor out, I'm probably going to paint these covers. What we are doing, complete digression right here. We are going with a matte black and candy apple red fairing set. The frame obviously on the table over there. We're just going to clean up and have it nice and simple, tidy, nothing fancy. The swing arm, it's got a few scratches and stuff in it, but I still don't think I'll paint it, not at the minute. I'll just give it a good clean and we should be good to go on that regard. So that's going to be like our aesthetics covered. I have a gasket set, a full gasket set for the motor coming, so I'll be pulling all these off, and while they're off, I'll probably get some wrinkle black, or maybe even just clean them up. We'll see how they look once they're clean, but I'll probably do wrinkle black on these outer covers, same with the clutch side, just to clean it up a little bit, make it a little bit prettier. And that's pretty much it. That'll keep it nice, I think. Now we've got some other aesthetic mods that I want to do. Well, not all aesthetic, but if you listen, oh, it's not that one, it's not that one, on the other side. Right, let's go. I'll show you. You can hear it. It's real bad. That's how long it's sat. Listen. That is some crispy radiator hoses. This thing sat for a while. I got some new, actually, they're over here. Got some new radiator hoses. That will come through those fairings and kind of contrast against the red as well. Stand out real nice. So we got these bad boys here. That'll look good. We've got some new grips. We've got some new levers, some hand guards. I do want to order some new mirrors with indicators on. We have a billet, quick release fuel cap. Fuel cap pretty much explains itself. So that's a billet piece there. We have a NOS, or new old stock carbon fiber cover for the top of the triple tree here. We got some CNC billet reservoirs for the front and for the back, so they'll look nice too. I might see if I can get a new case or a new dash. Probably just a new case. I'm pretty sure you can just buy cases for these. This one has some scratches and swirls in it, but I would just like something nicer. We're going to run a clear. We're going back to stock. Well, not stock. It'll still be a double bubble. We're going to run a clear screen, which is, it's usually the opposite of what people do. They usually go with the darkest or just complete blackout screen. But the problem is, you can't see through it. So when you're hugging the tank with a pin, you can't really see anything. You got to kind of, pop your head up, and that's wind resistance, lads. We don't want that. We do not want that. Aesthetics. We're getting rid of this. We're getting rid of these pegs, not permanently. I do want to take the missus on the bike and give her a fucking bit of a run around on it, but we'll be running a cowl, so just a cover on the rear seat, and we'll just don't bin them, Carl. We'll just put these to the side, the passenger foot pegs, save a little bit of weight there, and maybe, it's got some nicks in it, so I might change that to like a polished stainless or aluminium chain guard here. I do have a carbon fiber front fender for it too, which needs some clear coat, so I'll probably just spray that and get some clear coat on it, polish it up, and it should look good. And I think it came with, I'm not sure if it's this side. No, it's not, it's this side. We've got some carbon fiber for this piece here too, so yeah, that should be good. Might see if I can get some more carbon bits and pieces, but we'll see what the budget allows. And a bit of a scratch up there. Oh, it's an old frame, doesn't matter. Yeah, see what the budget allows. Maybe get some more carbon bits and pieces going on. What else? Aesthetics. I think that pretty much covers it. We're going to run obviously new hardware. Some of these bolts are rusted, like these ones down here. So we'll take those off, run new hardware. And yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. We've obviously got, it's not obvious, I guess, but I've already got the LED front and rear indicators and a tail tidy for the plate. I have a personalized plate ordered, paid for, on its way, which is fantastic actually. Like, I was really surprised to get that combination, but, well, surprised and not surprised, but, anyway, got a plate coming, and yeah, we've already got the Yoshi carbon slip-ons, which sound fantastic, especially with the baffles out. And they should polish up and look pretty good too, especially in contrast to the candy apple red. The rear sets aren't too bad. I think I'm just going to leave them for now. I can probably get a cheaper set with like the kind of budget that I have with the bike, but I think I'm just going to save up and get a good, decent quality, lightweight set when I can afford it. And when I do that, I'll get try to find one for this year of bike a auto blip and quick shifter, because I do want the auto blip and I want to be able to go down and up gears, so I kind of want to splurge on that stuff there. And that pretty much covers the look of the bike. We'll flick up some quick pictures and that can give you an idea of what it could look like. And now, performance wise, engine, when we pull her out, we'll get her on a stand. I'm going to run a thinner head gasket, a much thinner head gasket, and I'm going to skim the head, and that should bring us up to about 12.9 to 1 compression ratio. We are also going to be doing the cam timing, our lobe separation angle. We want to move a little bit of that power up through the band, just a little bit higher in the power band. And what I need to do to achieve that is the cam gears on the cam shafts if you rotate them 90 degrees, like take them off the 2 bolts, rotate them 90, they're actually slotted from factory, so you can actually play around from factory essentially with your lobe separation angle and kind of get the bike to perform how you want it, which is freaking fantastic because that saves money. And with the head gasket and the skimming of the head, etc., I'm going to have to do that anyway, which means if I done that and it couldn't do that, or if I done the head gasket and such and I couldn't do it, the timing and everything would be well and truly off, and that's just not ideal. So that's pretty much the biggest bump in power we're going to get on this bike, is the increase in compression ratio. The airbox has already been modified. It's already got the race modification where all the chambers and ducting is all kind of just gutted out. I do need to touch it up though, because the fiberglassing that they done is pretty shitty. It's actually really shitty, so you'll see that in a future video. I'll clean that up. I'm actually just going to use carbon and we're just going to redo it. So airbox, air filter, the basics there. We do have a Power Commander 5 and I do have the auto tune, so there's that there. I'll be just running a street tune. Fuel system wise, obviously, I guess with me, yeah, we're going to move to ethanol. We're going to use E85. So with a PCV5 you get 2 maps, switchable maps on the go. So one will be 98 and one will be E85. We'll be running it primarily on E85, and that's kind of what the number plate reflects as well. And we have, actually that came in the mail today too, we have an E85 in-tank pump for it, and I think the stock injectors should be good. If they are not good, we can either go aftermarket or I can decap these ones, which is quite common for the turbo guys. And given we need a 30% increase in fuel across the board, rough estimate, I mean you got your lean burn and all of that, but about 30% extra fueling, we might have to decap them, but we'll just see how that goes. And then let's keep moving forward. Exhaust, we're going to get all the air out. So like I was saying before, we got the Yoshis and we still have a cap. So I have a, where's that torch at? Still got the cap. We're going to get rid of that obviously because, well, no one wants one of those. So that'll be a decat Y pipe, gets rid of all of that. And these bikes actually have a X-up system, which is this chunky motor in here. Runs down to a cable system under here. That guy just there. And we'll be getting rid of that as well. I'm going to completely remove it, and that saves some weight and gives a little bit more high-end flow in the exhaust. I'm just going to, for now at least, just going to keep the stock headers, which come down, get rid of the X-up system, into the decat Y pipe, into the Yoshi. So she's going to sound bloody beautiful. What else? The loom I'm going to pull apart. We are going to delete the AIS and we're going to pull the motor and idle up and all of that kind of stuff out. So I'll strip that from the loom, and you can see, well, you can't see but I can, that dodginess there. We got some wires and whatnot floating around. I'm going to clean all of that up. We're going to fleece it and kind of tuck it, hide it, make sure it's nice, functional and all of that. A lot of this stuff is redundant now, like there's no actual switch for the kickstand. And the same with the clutch. I actually need to wire the clutch switch back in. Yeah, that's probably it performance wise, I think. And then obviously once it's running and I ride it around and get a good bass tune, bit of a street tune on it, I'll take it to the dyno and see what kind of numbers she puts down. Other than that, very simple, and that should still be a very spicy bike. Very, very spicy bike, in fact, with the ratio change, the bump and compression, intake, exhaust, all of that sorted, and ECU, the E85, she should do pretty good, I think. Alright, so I guess the main thing is, let's do these ones. Right, so she obviously loves a good skid. Cooked that rear tire. Oh, bloody tire on my roof now. Anyway, that's pretty much the project, lads. Just guess recap. So we are going. Oh, actually no, I don't think I mentioned that part. Nitrous, 1 pound bottle. Slapping her in the booty, and seen a couple of threads where people managed to fit a pound bottle in the. Ah, there's a leak. Ooh, we have an oil leak. That's from the drain plug. I already knew that was kind of leaking. Obviously, she leaks a little bit more when she's really hot. Don't know why she's hot. We're gonna run a nitrous kit, 4-port, and it's gonna be a dry kit. And I'm gonna have to get a nitrous control for that. Obviously, progressive ramp, probably only about 25 to 30 horsepower shot. Nothing too crazy, but that's the go as well. Thus, we are running E85, and with a slightly higher comp, she should be pretty happy. I think she should love that. And yeah, we're gonna send that. But yeah, recap: nitrous, E85, high comp. We are going to clean the bike up, make it aesthetically pleasing, nice, clean, tidy and simple. Road legal, obviously, aside from a few little bits. And we're just going to enjoy it. We're just going to build a road bike. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to do some highway pulls. We're going to stretch your legs and just enjoy it. See what it does. It is costing me a whole heck load of not much, to be honest, to rebuild it and get all of these parts, just shopping around, getting good deals. Got a huge, like $266 off the tires. That's a saving of $266. They had like a flash sale, and I was like, hell yeah, get on that bandwagon. I was looking at the S22s, but yeah, we got something a little bit better, so can't complain with that. But yeah, just gonna build a nice bike that I can kind of just commute around on, enjoy, go race Thursday nights, do some wheelies, and that's the goal, boys. That is pretty much it. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the bike. Anything I should be looking at in particular. Like I've already had a look at the manual timing chain tensioner. That seems to be a big issue. The older ones seem to get a bit of slack and let go. So already looked into that. If you guys know anything else I should be looking at, whether or not you think I should definitely have this ECU checked again to see if supposedly it is flashed. Probably got Dorito in my teeth. Oh yeah, so much Dorito. Whether I should send it away and see if it's been flashed. That will get rid of the speed restriction. It's not actually a restriction, it just doesn't go any higher than 299 on the dash. There's a few other niceties that you get with it as well. You can get a better bass tune, so you don't have to tune as much with the Power Commander. Power Commander intercepts and changes the signals, and the less work it has to do, it's generally better. So I'm kind of just talking myself into just getting this ECU flashed anyway. So we might do that. Let's look at that. We'll do that. And I think I'm probably going to need to do that for the X-Up Delete anyway, or else I'm going to get a cell. So maybe we'll look at that. And yeah, anything else you guys can think of, recommend, and yeah, thoughts and opinions, chuck them in the comments. And yeah, peace. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.